Vanguard is only a couple months away, and I think one thing that's going to cause the most issues, and I think everyone knows it by now, is skill-based matchmaking. And what sucks is Vanguard has a lot of potential, and from what we saw in the alpha and what we've heard so far about the game, this game could go the distance and be a great Call of Duty game, except the one thing holding it back is skill-based matchmaking, and I think a lot of people already think that it's going to ruin the game overall. Look at how strong skill-based matchmaking is in Cold War. It's so strong that you take a good product like Cold War, add skill-based matchmaking to it, and it can completely ruin it for a lot of people. I know lots of people like to think that I reverse boost or if I just abuse the skill-based matchmaking system in my gameplays, because over the past couple of months my gameplays have been pretty solid on Call of Duty Cold War, but to be completely honest and transparent, it took me almost 5 months of constantly playing Cold War to get so good at the game and to get used to the game where skill-based matchmaking isn't noticeable for me in a lot of games. And there are some games, don't get me wrong, where skill-based matchmaking just absolutely kicks me in the nuts and it absolutely sucks. However, I don't notice it much, at least recently I haven't noticed it much within the past couple of months. But the thing that sucks and the thing that worries me is the fact that it took me 5 months of playing this game to get good enough and to understand the spawns and rotations enough where I can play without noticing skill-based matchmaking. I don't want to have to sit there and 5 months down the road finally be able to play Vanguard without noticing skill-based matchmaking. And it's such an easy problem to fix as well. Skill-based matchmaking in Cold War killed the casual players that play the game. Of course, you have to play and try hard for 5 months straight to be able to play casual, so you have to put in a lot of unnecessary work to get to the point where skill-based matchmaking is negligible. And regardless of what skill-based matchmaking bracket you're in, if you're in the top 1% of players or in the bottom 20% of players, regardless of how good you are at the game, you should be able to pick up any single Call of Duty in history and be able to casually play and not worry about Optic Scump joining your lobby and making you wish like you decided to play a different game instead of Call of Duty that day. And Call of Duty, ever since it was basically conceived way back in the early 2000s, the game has just been a casual pickup, easy to play game. Skill-based matchmaking takes away the core values of Call of Duty. It's like if you went to Subway one day and all of a sudden they just didn't have sandwiches anymore. They just had like weird food items and salads you could pick from with no sandwiches. That's like what Call of Duty's basically done with skill-based matchmaking. It takes away one of the biggest components of Call of Duty, and that being how easy it used to be to pick up and play and have fun regardless of your skill level. For example, back in Modern Warfare 3, when I was 11 years old, I was brand new to the Call of Duty franchise and I absolutely sucked at the game, but I could still drop Reapers and AC-130s and stuff like that and have fun in the game, because there was times where I would play against really good players and really bad players, and the experience was different every single time. And because it was just so easy to pick up and casually play, I could achieve some of those higher score streaks and kill streaks in the game and then drop Moabs and have fun that way. But in today's Call of Duty climate, you have Jeremy, who's never played the game before. He picks up Cold War and absolutely gets destroyed because skill-based matchmaking doesn't let him improve at the game. And the thing is skill-based matchmaking halts a lot of the progression in the game as well, and it forces a lot of people to play very safe. Look at Modern Warfare 2019, for example. The game at its core is going to be a slower paced Call of Duty just because of the mechanics and the perk systems and claymores and just the sound system of that game. But on top of that, you have skill-based matchmaking punish people for trying to play different styles of the game because they're playing against similar skilled players. So there's going to be no room to learn and improve the game other than watching people on YouTube. If you play against the same skill level your entire life, sure, you might improve here and there, but overall, because the group of peers you're playing against on COD doesn't change, you're pretty much stuck in that skill-based matchmaking bracket, and getting out of it is extremely hard. Where back in the day, when you could just casually join a game, get absolutely pub stomped by some kids, and then the game after that, you could be the one pub stomping kids and just playing against absolute bots. But that doesn't happen nowadays because everything has to be a level and even playing field, and everyone gets participant ribbons for playing the game. So what Vanguard needs to do is super easy and a super simple solution: have skill-based matchmaking in ranked and league play only. Call of Duty has claimed that there has always been skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty throughout the entire life history of the game, which I highly disbelieve. Like, there's no way that back in Modern Warfare 2, they had matchmaking systems that based people off of skill. Back then, it was all connection-based. Regardless of how good the people were, it always tried to put you in the same region as the server you were trying to connect to, because better connection means a better experience, and a better experience means players are most likely to stay on the game longer and play longer and spend money on future games from Call of Duty. But it just doesn't make sense why skill-based matchmaking has been turned up to 11 within the past couple years. Apparently, World War II had skill-based matchmaking, and that was when it was originally announced and introduced into Call of Duty officially. But I've played my fair share of every COD since World War II, whether that be Black Ops 4 or just World War II in general. But I never noticed like crazy skill-based matchmaking like I have in the last couple years. Warzone makes sense because it's a battle to be the best of the best. Sure, the skill-based matchmaking bracket should be a little bit looser so it can allow some of the worst players to play against some of the better players. That way the battle royale experience is a little bit more unique and interesting every time you play it. But having skill-based matchmaking as strong as it is in Cold War and Modern Warfare doesn't make sense. And sure, skill-based matchmaking makes sense in theory, but it absolutely sucks in practice. The only place that skill-based matchmaking makes sense is ranked or league play. That's like the only, like really, no one wants to have skill-based matchmaking in a casual lobby. Look at Rainbow Six Siege. Its casual playlist, absolutely zero skill-based matchmaking. I was like silver in that game when I played a little bit like years ago, and I was always facing platinums and bronzes, just people from all over the spectrum. And even with Rocket League, sure, because of the mechanics of Rocket League, you have to play against somewhat similar skilled people in the game because you can't take a bronze player, put them up against a diamond and platinum player that plays in the air while the bronze is just driving on the ground. There has to be some sort of differentiation there, but even in casual, you play against across all different types of skill levels regardless of what rank you are. I'm diamond in Rocket League and I will play against grand champs in casual. I will play against golds in casual. It really just depends on who's queuing at the same time I'm queuing. And I don't understand why Call of Duty just can't grasp the community's outcry of, hey, we don't want skill-based matchmaking in casual playlists. If I want a pub stomp, I want a pub stomp. I don't want to have to play against Optic Scump and camp in a corner for 4 minutes straight to just get a harp to be able to get that intel and then just do good at the game. And the thing is there was still skill-based matchmaking in the alpha, which makes no sense. The alpha is to test the game mode and to test what's there in the game and get the community's initial impressions. People are not going to have good impressions on the game if skill-based matchmaking is front and center in the alpha of a game. We're not even at the beta yet. Sure, at the beta, slowly start testing the skill-based matchmaking system then, but in the alpha, it should be about testing the maps, testing the games, the engine, everything that isn't the matchmaking system. Just let the people play regardless of skill level, and then you can get the community's feedback in a more natural way than just, hey, skill-based matchmaking sucks, so the game mode always put me against the same 4 people in every single lobby, and everyone likes to camp because everyone's trying hard. That's just how that alpha went, and it doesn't make sense. Sure, if they came forward and said, hey, we're testing the skill-based matchmaking system for the game for when it finally comes out, and based off of your guys' feedback, that's how we're going to tweak this skill-based matchmaking system. But they didn't mention it at all. For some reason, I know Sledgehammer is one of the best developers to be vocal in Call of Duty, but one thing that doesn't make sense whatsoever is still no one has fully addressed skill-based matchmaking and their goals with the game. Obviously, there has to be some money incentive with skill-based matchmaking, so it has to increase revenue somehow, regardless of if we see it or not. And like, there has to be some sort of motive other than just, hey, let's have people play the same skill level so that the brand new people to the game don't have to fight the best players of the game and get deterred from playing it. And I understand skill-based matchmaking is there to protect the new players, which also doesn't make sense. If I was a new player, I would hate having my hand held through a game like Call of Duty. It's a simple game. Run, aim, and shoot. That's really all you have to do. It's not like Rainbow Six where you're shooting through crazy amounts of cover and almost every surface that you can shoot through and see through. It's not like that. It's not CSGO where the aiming mechanics and the bullet mechanics are very critical to your success of the game. It's Call of Duty. In Modern Warfare 3, when I first picked up my first PlayStation and my first actual copy of Call of Duty rather than playing it at a friend's house, if you told me that I was going to have my hand, even at the age of 11, if you told me that I was going to have my hand held throughout the entire experience of Modern Warfare 3, I would have hated it. Some of the most fun I had was trash talking kids that were dropping like 4 Moabs a game and were just making my team look like bots. Like I feel like bots would have even done better against some of the guys that I played against in Modern Warfare 3. And that's all part of the fun. You can't learn to become better if you are restricted from even coming across those better players. The only chance you have at getting better is by just slowly over time improving your gun skill and moving up the ranks. And the last issue with skill-based matchmaking and how it's going to ruin Vanguard, it restricts diverse gameplay. Because you have to play slower in strict SBMM to combat against people that are the same skill level as you. You have to play slower and you have to camp a lot more because those players in a gunfight are around the same skill level as you. So if both of you jump the corner, it's a pretty even gunfight, which is fun from time to time. But every single engagement becomes just a flip of the coin at that point, and there's no way to learn and get better at the game. So skill-based matchmaking restricts diverse gameplay because it slows you down, and if you want to play in a different style of gameplay, you have to once again fight through the skill-based matchmaking to do it. And you know how at the beginning of the video I said it took me almost 5 months to get good at Cold War, where I don't have to worry about skill-based matchmaking and I just know the flanks? Imagine if I changed my playstyle now. Sure, I have that map knowledge and game knowledge, but with my playstyle and me switching up how I move around the map, it would take like a couple more months for me to get back to the point I am right now, where skill-based matchmaking doesn't affect me. It's super simple. In casual, no skill-based matchmaking. Ranked and league play, skill-based matchmaking. Makes sense. Makes everyone happy and causes the least amount of issues. I don't remember any case or instance in any of the OG CODs like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, where people complained about pub stompers in their games. I've heard more complaints over skill-based matchmaking than anything in Call of Duty in the last 2 years, which showcases how big of an issue it is. And if it keeps up the same way it is in Cold War, it's going to ruin Vanguard before Vanguard even has a chance to show us how good of a potential this game could be. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Leave a like if you guys did enjoy, dislike if you didn't. There's no hard feelings. I'm about to head out, and if there is one, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.